Yeah, morning everybody. You're welcome to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN. I'd like to apologize for the abrupt end to the program yesterday on the Daily Digest. What my people, Yoruba people, call this engine. It has a way. It has a way on jumping at you. I still had 5 minutes to go, but he thought otherwise, and at 9:50 he cut me off. Anyway, to compensate you on Tuesday, I'll bring the last bit that I would have wanted to do. And also, I've gotten in touch with the parents of the lady who's got a first class in law in Lasso. So I'm hoping I'll be able to bring her in. As many of these stories that I can get, I'll try to fit in. We need to have a new Nigeria that doesn't look at your pocket, but rather looks at what you can contribute, achievements that are not monetary. So I'll be having her here hopefully on Tuesday. I'm finishing with the Jakpa. Okay, away from subsidy, away from all these things, let's go to something that is less controversial and ideally, and in 99% of the cases, is more pleasing to our senses. That's why today I'm bringing Lilian, Amah, Aluko. I got that right?
Correct.
Yes, one of the prettiest actresses I've seen. And this is what I'm fine up for. I would not lie. Fine up for. So we'll have Lilian, Amah, Aluko here, and then we'll just be gisting like we do off here sometimes, and we'll talk about a few things. And then, Lilian, how are you?
Very well.
But by the way, you have a new movie coming on.
Yes, I do.
Because you were here last year. Was it last year you were here?
No, this year.
This year. No, you don't. It was a Dear Bumi one, and then
Dear Bumi was last year.
Last year. Anyway, you told me that you have another movie coming up. So let me get that out of the way in this discussion before I overrun. when is it? When is it? Is it ready?
It's done. It's coming to the
cinemas.
Cooked
and everything.
Cooked, done. It's
How many years did it take you?
30th of June.
How many years did it take you to film this?
We finished principal photography in end of May 2022.
Yes, that's not too bad. A year for the rushes and everything. So it's all cooked and done now.
Done.
Good. So how do you feel? Because it's like carrying a pregnancy. and the baby finally drops out.
I'm still in labor.
You're still in labor?
Imagine how I feel.
Who is the gynecologist? Let me call Dr. Ayeni and see if he can do something about it. Okay, but is it? It's for the cinemas now. For now, right?
For now, yes.
I know the way it goes. I know a bit about your industry. When is it going to be out there for? Well, we encourage people to go to the cinemas anyway. But yes. I have a bad cinema habit. Let me confess. I have a bad cinema habit.
You don't watch?
No, not well. One, I get. It's been long. I've gone to a cinema. When I was much younger, you had no choice anyway, and you could concentrate. But now, when the latest Bond came out, for example, I went to the cinema. I found people were restless about. They were restless. Somebody put up his or her phone way down in front of me, and I couldn't. So, I'm not a cinema person.
JD.
Yes.
Uncle Jimmy.
Yes.
You're going to go and watch this one.
See this one?
Yes.
Good. I get a free ticket.
Free tickets. When I'm looking for you to buy tickets.
No, I get the free. You must give me a complimentary ticket.
No wahala, I'll give you.
I know you have no choice. I can always come in through the staff entrance anyway. All I need to do is you must get me one of these t-shirts though.
I will. I promise.
I'm a 2XL and I'm flat chested, so. Maybe you should give me this one.
No,
Let's swap.
This one will fit you. I will get your own. 2XL, I won't forget.
Okay, I don't want to tell people the story. I mean, you need to go there to watch what it is. But let me just ask, is it a romantic story? Is it everyday life?
It's actually a thriller.
Oh, it's a thriller?
Yeah.
With
it's
guns
drama and a thriller. No guns.
No violence, okay.
No guns, none of that.
None of that.
But it keeps you on the edge of your seat. You want to know what's going on.
What's going on?
What's going to happen?
Okay, so you acted in the movie, right?
Just a minor role.
Yeah, I mean, so that you can concentrate because you're supposed to be the producer.
Exactly.
So, but give me 3 names that would make me sit up in my chair.
Kalu Ikagu, Luciame, Kelechi Udegbe.
Okay.
Bimbo Manuel.
Bimbo Manuel.
The
Yeah.
late Antishola Onayiga. That was her last job.
Her last job.
Yeah.
Bimbo Manuel, I saw rushes, I saw some photographs and as usual, he looked like a bad man. You know, when we were young, you go to the cinema, the villain is usually called Batman with his hat and everything. How's Bimbo these days anyway?
He's good.
I haven't seen him for ages.
He's a gentleman. He's good.
Yes, I've known Bimbo like all my life. He's a fine gentleman. So when are you likely to get to Netflix or any of these other ones?
Well, fingers crossed, we'll have a long cinema run, hopefully.
Okay, yeah.
After the cinema run, then the distributors will pitch it to Netflix, Amazon, and see which one bites.
Look, the industry has changed completely. Here I am. Whilst I was a full-grown adult, to watch anything close to a movie, I had to go to the cinema. Now, I can watch a movie in traffic, given what Lagos is.
Yeah, exactly, on your phone.
On your phone. It's exciting, isn't it?
It is. The world is moving too fast,
It's
actually.
too fast, yes. But do you have a loss of revenue? Like, for example, if you had to see a movie and you had to go to the cinema, when you look at your figures with your bank manager, do you think you'd be better off if you didn't have all these streaming devices and people had to line up every day at the cinema?
Well, it's a come see, come sa thing because the streaming platforms give more room for a lot more people to see it.
But I'm talking of your bank manager now.
Yeah,
as a business.
The streaming platforms also pay you to take your content.
Can I ask about how much average? I'm not going to pin you down to a figure, but average, if you want your movie on any of these streaming devices, what kind of money are you looking at? The LRS are on holiday. By the way, I like to
after us. Well, I can't say because contracts are usually confidential, but I know that some really big movies get serious amounts of money. The smaller movies also get decent amounts of money. The more platforms we have, actually, the better for everybody, including the filmmakers.
You can set the figure for the LRS. I need to pay tribute to my auntie, Mrs. Janet Joke Subar, who we buried yesterday. May her soul rest in peace. Her son, who is the head of LRS in Lagos, must be sleeping right now because we buried her yesterday. so you can give me a figure.
Recovery. I know that we're talking thousands of dollars.
Oh, it's in dollars. Green box.
You're talking about platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime. Those are foreign platforms. So yes, they pay in dollars.
I think maybe I need to put my leg on this toasting pedal. So we must spend this dollar together.
Uncle Jimmy, I know you don't pray, but pray for me. Make them take my film. Make you do well.
They
for
will
cinema.
take your film. I will go to the mountain.
Amen.
They go. I'm going to Ghana anytime from now. I heard there's one mountain in Ghana. I go there. But by the time I come back, when the dollar come, don't spend it alone.
No, we will share now, Abba.
Those who spend alone die alone.
True talk.
9:12 is the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by MTN, and I have Lilian, Amah, Aluko, and we're going to talk about the movie industry, but particularly, she has a new movie coming up. It's called The Other One. You want to tell us just a teeny-weeny bit of what the story is about?
The Other One, Juma is involved with 2 men.
As usual. Most women are involved with 2 men.
No, not in the way you think.
I have a one-track mind.
That's what you need to...
I said it before you said it.
That's why you need to go to the movies to discover what is playing out here. There's Jidechi and there's Mandela.
You wrote the script?
No, I didn't.
Okay, that's good. Because I remember way back, things have changed now. In the music industry, for example, back in the day, I don't know whether you still have it, everybody who owns a band believes that he must be the lead singer. And so some could and some couldn't.
Yeah.
I know some top, and back in the day too, in Juju music then, it was when Sonny Ade was a guitar wizard, everybody now wanted to pretend to play the guitar. But there's a famous Juju musician who would always have a guitar around his neck. He would be running his fingers over the guitar One day with my good friend Dubi, we took a very good study and discovered that his guitar was off. It was off for optics. And I think when this changed in the minds of people was in a band called Kool and the Gang. And we discovered that Robert Kool was not the guy who was singing and dancing and strutting.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. So I'm glad that somebody, it will freshen up your collective, nice whatever. But have you written a movie before?
I write novels. I don't write scripts.
Do you have novels out there?
I have 2 published ones.
Really?
The third one is ready. It's being edited right now.
You're an art student, right? I mean, you're art graduate, as it were. Is
Yes,
it theater art?
Masters in English.
In England, I can guess which university you went to. I can guess it.
Oh, yeah, guess.
There is no other university you could have gone. No other one. Name me. Where is the man?
I'm here.
Which one did you go?
Me?
You.
I went to.
Oh, Marshall. Don't worry.
I went to Polytechnic. And
It's too far, sir.
It's
There
too
is
far.
no other university you would have gone but the University of Lagos. True or false?
Great Akokite.
Great Akokite to see. How much does it cost to make a movie? Average. I've told you the airline is still sleeping from yesterday's party.
On average, with the way things are going now, if you want to make a movie for the cinemas, you should be looking at minimum 50 million.
50?
Yeah.
Allah
And
Akbar,
that doesn't include marketing.
50 to get it baked into a CD or whatever it is. 50 million.
For the cinemas.
For the
If you're
cinemas.
doing made for TV movies, yeah, you could come lower. And there are a lot of
What's
factors.
the difference?
Made for TV, made for the cinema, there are so many things that need to go into it.
The cameras.
The cameras, the sound equipment, everything. It has to, because it's big, it's
Big.
larger than life. So all of that has to go into it. Made for TV is more compact. Let me put
What
it
I
that way.
thought was that 50 million, the artist fees will take most of it away anyway.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying minimum, because the cinemas will tell you have to have actor A, actor B. These are the ones the audience want to see. And those who the audience want to see will name their price.
How do you pay them? Is it per scene, per shoot, or it's just a fixed figure?
They usually have their own rate cards. Some will tell you this is how much I earn per day. So if you're going to have them on your set for 2 weeks, a month, you multiply that and then you start negotiating.
But that would be plus feeding and accommodation.
You feed them, you accommodate them. It's not in their fee. Their
I
fee
see.
is what you pay them.
Feeding includes just the main meal, or if they want, a bit of a green bottle, or a gin and tonic,
All
or
of
whatever.
the above. You have to keep them happy to make them give
Well,
the
what if you
best.
have one of them who really must have something in addition? Because the arts is like that. The arts is liberal with these things. Even in the best of concert halls, they give allowance if God bless Fela Kuti. They give you a small room to go sort yourself out.
Well, that is between the actor and himself. I don't encourage any
Right.
of those substances, and I won't be providing them, and you wouldn't use them on my set.
And you're set,
You can
okay.
go
I just-
offset and
well,
do your
we're
bit.
talking for professional, really, just for us to know. So 50 million. There are loads of people out there who might want to invest whatever in a movie. What are the returns like, average? Because now we know you have 50 million. Cash, madam.
You know I spent something.
You
like that.
have
you don't
50
know that I
million.
have it.
Yeah.
There
No, you
could
don't
be
have it. You have spent
investors
it.
out there. There could be family and friends who contributed.
There are no family and friends
Because-
in business. You have this money, Joe.
Amen.
Amen. So the returns on the average will be within a year?
If-
Because
okay,
some people will be curious.
Okay,
you know.
let's look at this one.
Yes.
I finished principal photography 28th of May 2022. Before that, I first saw the synopsis for that film in 2021. And then I said to the writer, I pointed to she sent me about 5 synopses and I gave her 3. I said, I want this, I want this, I want this. Her name is Jennifer. Brilliant writer. And Jennifer went to work and wrote the script.
That's what she does for a living.
That's what she does for a living.
Wow. I'd love to meet her, though. I'd love to have her here.
I'll give her. Oh, I think she's in Port Harcourt, but I'll give.
Anytime. No,
give
it's
you her
not.
contact,
Not.
yeah.
Yes.
So she then wrote the scripts. I looked at it with my team. We made our input, and she made corrections. Gave us the final draft. When it was finally ready, I sent it to the guy I wanted to direct it. He read it. Was happy with it, and then said he wanted some additions. I spoke to Jennifer. I said, I know you are busy because Jennifer is very busy. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get somebody else here, if you don't mind, to give me the additions. And she said, go ahead. So we got another writer to give us the additions the director wanted. She created extra scenes because he wanted some depth to one of the characters. So after that, all of this was from like August, September 2021. Then we eventually went to shoot. We had to do casting, get locations, costumes, all of the work. We eventually went to shoot, and we finished shooting May 28th, 2022.
Wow.
It did not come back from the editor until 2023.
It's a lot of hard work.
It is. So
It's-
if
it's-
an investor gave
it's
me
a
money
lot of hard work.
then and expected 6 months return, I'd be in trouble. So if you want to invest in the movie industry, I would advise the investor, the would-be investor, give it one.
I think you would have to have the passion, not just the money. If you had the money, look, money people are very. You'd have to have the passion and the understanding of how the
Because there are
industry
some
works.
who don't have any passion for movies. They couldn't care less. They just want the returns. But once they understand the cycle and they are willing to be patient, after all, people build houses and wait for it to finish and they rent it out.
Yes.
That's an investment.
Yes.
So if you're ready to give it 12 to 24 months, then they can take their time and do a good job, pitch it to the best platforms, do a good cinema run, and then you can sit back and wait for good returns.
Yes. So when you do the cinema run, it will take about a month or two.
Depends on how well it does. The cinemas are also business concerns, and there are a lot of movies wanting cinema time.
Cinema time.
So if your movie is not doing well, chances are
chuck it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they chuck it.
So if it's doing well, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
4 weeks,
6 weeks, 8 weeks.
Okay, 9:21. The Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you by NTN. Did I say NTN or MTN?
MTN.
MTN, okay. MTN. The thing is that, let me be honest with you, my mind was trading off that investment angle to say, well, if I'd given Lilian about 50 million.
Should we bring
in
this
3
money?
years,
Let us
which
do
money?
fame
Now
for
you get the money. Now look at you, look at me, look at your T-shirt and look at mine. You were supposed to bring this T-shirt for me.
I promise I will get you a T-shirt
Yes,
for the
I
other
need to
one.
wear it.
2XL. I
When
will.
I'm going to the cinema to watch it, I will.
You wear it.
By the way, is it like the old days when a movie would run in one cinema before it goes to another, or would it be spread?
It's premiering simultaneously in several cinemas across the country. We have
Across the
Kano,
country?
Asaba, Abuja,
Oh,
Owerri,
my
Warri.
teacher show. You don't hammer.
Ogun
You don't
State,
hammer.
Osun
I'm your
State.
Valentine for this year. Lilian, you don't hammer.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to take a short break now. When I come back, of course, I'll take your calls. One of the things I'm going to discuss with you when I come back is this poison, this slow poison that we have in your industry. Not your industry. It will be an insult to add them to your industry, but in your area, in your genre, hanging around, a big poison, and that is that of skits. I will ask you when we come back from break. I'm glad that we finally got one of them arrested, and he'll be in court on Monday. Some of them can be completely irresponsible. And so we will discuss it when we come back from break, because it is what goes on during that break that drives this program. I cannot wait. I'm not Lilian. I cannot wait for 2 years. But I need this. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back.
Whenever I tell people I'm a full-time master student and a content creator, they go, huh? How are you able to do both all at once? You bewitch? No be juju, na MTN 5G. Ever since 5G came into my life, I've been on cloud 9. I get to take my classes online in real time and upload my videos before you say Jack Robinson. Even Babe isn't left out. Our long distance is waxing strong.
Hello, babe. Can you hear me? Your video is frozen again.
We don't do that here, because life is a breeze.
Experience the wonders of MTN 5G, hyper-fast internet connection with no buffering, zero lag, and quality data capabilities like never seen before. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today? Hi, my name is Dr. Tunji Bakari. I've been a medical doctor for over 20 years. And sometimes I have to recommend my patients leave the country to get urgent care. But with 5G, I don't need my patients to spend enormous amounts of money to fly out. I can consult real time with experts all over the world without needing to get a visa. Even monitoring patients with heart conditions or patients that are at risk of other ailments alone at home can be done with the wearable technology 5G facilitates. Even though I'm a doctor, I keep having to convince my patients this is real, not magic. Bridge the gap with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speeds, seamless buffering, and applications that can only be possible via its quality capability. Available on broadband and mobile. MTN, Nigeria's #1 5G network. What are we doing today?
Welcome back to the Discourse with Jimi Disu, brought to you. Why do I have to keep saying brought to you by MTN? I'm just excited. I've been at this for 11 years, and they've stood by me all that while.
Wow.
So I like to give them credit at the easiest opportunity. But for the rest of this program, I'll keep my mouth shut.
You better give them credit before they withdraw their support.
No, I'm part of their family. There's no them now, it's we.
It's
we.
Okay, good.
Skits. There's a guy called Trinity. I've been calling him out for about 18 months, doing skits that I could see was going to lead to something unpleasant. And he walked right bang into it with one he did with a minor. I'm sure you saw it, with a minor, asking that minor to describe his private part. And unfortunately for him, the minor is even female. It's going to be in court on Monday. We'll see how the case goes. But a lot of us are going to follow that case to the end. I wonder, this affects your industry on the fringes, really. I think what affects your industry more are those who now believe that anything goes in the name of movies and use phones and whatever to record. But we'll get back to that. Are you worried about some of these kids that you see?
Some of them are highly irresponsible.
Yes.
I see some and they frighten people so badly.
Yeah.
Some people fall very badly trying to get away. And I'm like, one day this thing is going to result in either death or permanent injury.
I tell you this though. We don't know the injury that it has caused some people, the trauma that they have to live with after that.
After that, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Somebody with a weak heart, they do all sorts of terrible things in the name of fun.
Yes.
There's comedy and there's what some of them are doing.
Unfortunately, a lot of our people are tolerant of all kinds of nonsense, really. This idea of spraying and dancing on it. Most of the bad habits that really we should be condemning as a collective, you find people in the social media now, people are saying, I was just a kid. Some even said in the case of this small girl that, I think he was the one who said, and some people kept talking about it, that he took the permission of the parents. Excuse me, the child has a right.
Exactly.
This girl is about 14.
If the parents don't have
common sense, yes.
He should have had sense. You're doing that to a minor and you're putting it out there. I hope the courts really...
Well, I wonder if he has any grown-up children, and I'm wondering why he didn't use one of his own daughters. I mean, yes, if he would stand in front of... He would tell his own daughter do
Uncle
this.
Jimmy,
Was
you
terrible.
see, what I think is a lot of things people do in these parts and get
Yes.
away with it, they don't even think it's wrong. I saw something online about some Nigerian boy or man who went to the UK, jackpad, and then started chatting with some underage girl and traveled. Her birthday was coming. He traveled to her county or wherever,
Yes.
in the name of going to give her birthday present. Obviously, he thought he had seen girlfriend. He was arrested. And some people online were arguing, but he didn't do anything. And I'm like,
Excuse
are you
me.
crazy? He has no
Excuse
business
me.
chatting up
A
anybody
minor.
under the age of 18.
You know, I had to lecture. I have loads of young people that I mentor, things, and I had to sit one down. When I was talking to him, his eyes popped out. I googled it, opened up the law, and told him that, look, okay, so you're a young man of 19. Let me tell you something. If you sleep with a girl who is 17, you're going to go to jail.
It's statutory rape.
It's statutory rape.
She doesn't.
He
have
didn't
the-
believe it, so I
she
opened
can't
it.
give consent because she's
She
not
can't.
old
She's
enough.
a minor. So I said, okay, so yes, you're 19. If you go out with a girl who is under 18, you better be careful. How do we regulate these kids, really? The police PRO, we thank him for what he has done, Adejobi. Though personally I believe he was a bit slow to react. I think he was also mindful of the backlash. But our people who are given the power to enforce the law must be ready to get the job done, no matter whose ox is God.
Exactly.
It's like in my job now. I'm not doing a popularity contest. Let it be written down that when a demand was made of me to do my job, I do it. What's he talking about?
No. I think I'll make a case for Adejobi there because he
Yes.
has been calling. He was the first person that called for the arrest of that guy. It
It's
was
not the
now.
job. It's not the job. Wait, Mr. Adejobi's friend. It's not the job of Adejobi to call for the arrest. It's his job to direct immediately. He should have been arrested immediately. It's not. That's why I say he kept dilly-dallying. For God's sake, a police officer, you get the man arrested. He was playing to the gallery in the social media. Truth has to be told. And I think part of it was because I sense that he was a little bit, being the police PRO, a little bit worried. So that's not the way it should work. Get the job done. Arrest him and the next day take him to court. And that's it. Anyway, that's where we are now. You want to say something?
Yeah, I think there should also be education.
Of course there should be.
The police force, the PPRO's office should start to educate the public. Whether they do it virtually or whatever, they should start to let people know the things that are wrong, the things you can't do because they're against the law. So when they do it and you nab them, nobody comes to say, but I didn't know. Though ignorance of the law has never been an excuse.
It's never been an excuse. I think that in our own peculiar situation now, the way the world is going, we need a very strong orientation agency. We do need that because we have too many bad habits that have been well established. It's like if you go to churches abroad, the church I go to, Anglican church, there's no what do you call it, sermon. They give you some things to read at home. The reason being that a lot of this is part of their ethos. You don't need the police to come and tell you that you don't mess around with a minor.
Yeah.
But in our own case, I think the social media has done a bit more damage in that
Than
direction.
good, yes.
Yes.
We pick up everything
We
from
need,
everywhere.
I said it unapologetically, if I'm the last man standing, we need to regulate the social. You can't have something that is not regulated. You can't. It's going to lead to chaos.
It's scary, and I fear for the youths, the young people. They are perpetually on these devices 24/7.
Yeah.
And they're picking
So
up
am I.
so much.
I'm perpetually on the device.
You're an adult. You can discern.
I can discern,
like,
yes.
They can't. Children as young as 12, 13, they're on this
They're on this thing, yes.
And everything they see, they believe it's true. They think that's the right way to go.
Well, I mean, we thank God for the likes of Museveni and Obasanjo, who stood their ground on the onslaught on this LGBT thing, because this also is part of the social. Now there's a big problem in the Western world
Yeah.
The world is divided down the line. You have to make a stand. You can't just be in between.
Yeah.
But thank God. So we need very quickly, we need to have an orientation agency at federal, state, and local government level, educating our people. It's a pity that we need to be educated by the things that we wouldn't even have touched with a mile long pole.
Common sense things.
Part
right?
of the problem, don't you think it's an identity crisis on our part as Africans? Where we believe that anything in the Western world goes.
Is right, is the best, yes. In every sphere of life. Once now Igbo own, we think it's better.
Okay, let me see. Our lines are open. I think I have a caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Pastor, how are you?
Good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Good morning.
Uncle Jimmy, I have a question for your guest.
Yes.
My question is, what is the role of insurance in the film industry? Like in other parts of, like in Hollywood now, some of these, their films and the actors are insured, so that some of the stunts they do in those movies, if anything goes wrong, insurance come in for them. So in this part, what is the role of insurance? Thank you.
I think this pastor is supposed to be a pastor, but I think he's an insurance agent, so he wants to sell some insurance. Because I would have thought that would have been a given. I believe that actors should insure themselves, but do you insure them?
Good morning, Pastor, and thank you for your question. Insurance in Nigeria, I think even the insurance companies, a lot of them are just about life insurance, motor vehicle insurance, fire insurance.
Yes.
I remember in 2009, I wanted to do a movie and I wanted insurance for equipment because we wanted to travel. And they were like, we can't insure you too. If something happens, So that was one. The second one was the Wole Soyinka International Cultural Exchange Program, which we do. We take young people, students, secondary school students around the country and to some other countries outside. It's an annual event. Because we're moving bus loads of children across Nigeria to Ogun State, to Osun State, to Abuja, we decided to take insurance. And it was quite difficult. But luckily, one insurance company eventually insured the children and the vehicles for the period of travel. So the insurance companies are not very open to the movie industry.
They're not creative.
They're not creative. It's just like a lot of our banks. They go by the book. It's just what they are used to. They don't want to experiment. They don't want to look or think outside the box.
Lilian, you remember, God bless the late Tina Turner, at one time insured her legs.
Oh, yes, those famous legs.
If you were to insure any part of your body, which part would it be? Your face, your legs? I caught you there.
I don't know.
I can help. Your legs.
Okay.
I got you speechless. Okay, let's take another call. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Uncle Jimmy, good morning, sir.
Morning, Chris. How are you?
Madam, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, quick one, ma. You shoot films in Lagos, right?
Yes.
All these are rights are boys. How do you handle them?
Good, fantastic.
Then, Uncle Jimmy, quick one. The MTN, I told you that I will never forget what MTN did for me.
Yes.
My grandchildren will hear it. MTN made me to enter a aeroplane for the first time in my life.
Oh my God! If you don't enter plane, go Ghana, go meet this woman now. I've been waiting be all this.
Go.
The MTN carry you go meet Uber.
Lodge me in Transcorp Hilton Hotel. Uncle Jimmy, it's not easy. So lodge in Transcorp Hilton.
I know.
Yeah, I will never forget. I'm telling you the truth, Uncle Jimmy. Thank you.
I like that. He's a widower and he now has a new love in Ghana. So
Oh, wow.
as MTN has broken the ice for him to be flying, they can now be flying back. But Chris, the ticket don't become almost 300,000 to Ghana. At this rate, I think I'll go by Keno.
Congratulations on your new love, Chris.
I think I'll go by Keno. Okay,
What was his question? He asked me a question.
Area boys.
Oh.
Did you have that problem?
Oh, that was when I was shooting Jungle Ride. We had a scene at the bus stop, and we used the bus stop at Tejosho, that
Okay.
Yaba bus stop. It was a long scene. It was with Joseph Benjamin.
Okay.
And my director then said, Mama, we have to engage these boys. So one of the area boys actually played the conductor. We just met, we met the bus stop, the guys there.
Yes.
We spoke to the person in charge of that bus stop. We gave them money to use the space and to use some of the buses. And they were so cooperative. They kept the crowd at bay.
Yes.
You know, they were very helpful. And the guy that played he played the role of an area boy. Oh, he was fantastic. We picked him from that bus stop. He was great because he just lived his role.
Yes.
So those area boys, we know that it is a situation in Lagos.
Let me ask. Let me ask how it works. If you're going to do a crowd scene, must you engage with everybody in the crowd? There are some people who don't want to see their faces, you know. So how do you do that now? Or do you rent the crowd?
Oh, you rent the crowd.
Oh, really?
You rent the crowd. Of course, some people who are passing may just put their own faces in, but majority of the crowd, you rent them.
I see.
Because you may have to do that scene over and over again. So you have to be certain that the key people that the camera is going to see are going to be there.
You pay them?
You pay them, yes.
Handsomely?
Well, you pay them. Let's leave it at that. And some of them are thrilled, you know, just to be a part of it.
Oh,
so.
yes. I'd love to act in the movie. The major problem I have is I can't keep to the script. Sometimes I'm talking here and then thank God for people like Sheriff. I keep pinching him. Sheriff, damn it, no, what? so I can imagine the only way I'll be able to act well is if I'm left to just be myself.
Yeah, there are some contents that are created like that. They give you a scenario and then you play it out. You use your own words.
And as long as you don't give me, you know, you'll do repeats and repeats and repeats. As long as you're not asking me to say the same thing over and over again. But do you have actors like that who can't keep to the script? But
there are actors like that, actually. There are actors like that. But when they do it over and over again, they begin to get used to it.
So acting is not easy. I hope people realize that. First of all, you have to have the talent. Then you have to go to the script. Then you have to, there was one actress, you have to, is it live into the role or walk into the role, or you have to get your mind.
You have to subsume yourself in the character, yeah.
Which is the most difficult character you've acted?
I think the most difficult time I've had on set, but also the most interesting, was Out of Bounds. Because that was the first time I was in front of a camera.
And that's what brought you to fame, though.
Yes, that was.
You acted with Richard, did you?
Yes, it was.
Richard was there.
It was his production.
It was
his first.
Did you have to kiss him on set?
Uncle Jimmy, I was his wife. I believe we exchanged a couple of pecks. Pecks. There are differences between.
What do you mean pecks? Sometimes there's some. So in your movies, there are no like romantic scenes. But let me ask you. Now that you spoke about that, if you have to there's a role in which you have to get close to the actor, you know, a bit of romance and so on and so forth, do you pick your choice or you're forced to go with one guy?
You can't pick your choice.
If the guy get B, uncle.
Now your luck be that. But actually, for me, I think you can create romance without really getting all. You know.
Don't. I mean, we're all humans. Sometimes you get, like when you were his wife. Did you find Richard attractive?
Richard is an attractive guy, yes.
That's a very good answer.
But there's nothing
to add.
Heavily intimate scenes.
That's the scene. I'm talking about you're a human being now.
Oh, yes. They're attractive people. I see attractive people. The gentleman behind you, He's very attractive.
You want to have a role with him? Amah, I'm going to shoot you. What's the name of the movie that you said, Out of Bounds?
Out of bounds.
Well, Out of Bounds, get out of the street. Okay, let me take another call. Hello, good morning. Morning.
Hello, Uncle Jimmy. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
No, I greet your guest.
You have to turn down the radio, please. Let's knock off this call. Please, when you call from a very quiet background. I mean, I don't think it's something that we all should know. The noise from the background gets in the way. Hello, good morning.
Hey, Uncle Jimmy. Good morning, sir.
Morning, how are you?
I'm very fine, sir.
Yes.
How are you too?
I'm fine. Just go on, please.
Okay, I quickly want to say I appreciate your guest. I think the first time I saw a movie, I was the Out of Bounds, and ever since I never saw anywhere again.
Yes.
And I really, really do appreciate.
So you want to rush down to Timiyang to see her again? We can wait for you. Where are you?
Let me rub it in on you myself. She's actually a very beautiful woman. I must tell you.
I know that I'm not blind.
She is a beautiful woman.
I'm short-sighted. I'm not blind. I can see.
Thank you, sir.
Uncle JD, talking about this Trinity guy,
Yes.
I want to tell you that the commissioner of police in that state is not responsible. I'm saying it out here. He is not. Why does he have to wait for people?
No, it's not fair to say. No. Wait a minute. You can't.
Yeah?
You can't insult a commissioner of police by saying he's not responsible.
I'm sorry.
Can you please just apologize to that?
I take it back.
I take it back and we leave it at that, okay? Take it back.
Okay.
Next caller, please. I mean, you got to be careful. You don't know what the man has done.
Yeah.
You got to be very, very careful. And I do apologize. So let's take another one. Hello, good morning. Hello, morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good Jimmy.
Yes.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
This is Ambassador Musba. Please, I want to ask one question, man. Now, is it in the act? I love acting, but they are very food. That food they display, is it they cook it or they order it? Because the food at times there, you see that I'm not sure. None of that stuff can.
Okay, all right, I get this is a prank. This is a prank. My good friend Kelvin, I have this good friend in Sule, God bless him every time. And he says, Uncle Jimmy, good morning. I have been pranked before by a girl who claimed they raped her. I was embarrassed. Okay, so some of them have these actors, they do it. But of course, like you rightly said, the reaction of people around it also matters. So he claimed that he was pranked and the girl apparently maybe, I don't know what he was, but he thought that she was raped, had been raped, only for him to discover later that it was some kind of prank. Some of them actually, yes.
Those pranks are offensive.
Very offensive.
They are offensive because now somebody is genuinely going to get raped and won't get help because some other people are going to think you're pranking them.
So even those that have an all act whatever it is, we also need to look at the message that they're sending
out. Yes. They may all be actors. They may all know what they're doing is a prank, but the viewers don't know.
Yes. Okay, for example, I do know that in certain markets, a woman has to tread carefully. They could take off her wig. All these rough boys could take off her wig. And they pick some of these habits from the pranks.
Yeah.
And once anything goes all right, they say it's a prank. As if pranks legal. We need to find out. I need to get a lawyer, who's very conversant with the law of things like that to find out if pranks themselves are legal.
Uncle Jimmy, I'm not a lawyer, but there are certain pranks you will play. For instance, somebody walks up to you and holds your shirt and says, you slept with me, you didn't pay me. They do all those kind of pranks.
No, you can't try to me.
You've embarrassed me in front of the world. And then you start laughing
and say it's a prank.
2 hours later and say it's a prank. People who were passing when that was happening are not there to hear you say it's a prank.
No, I want somebody, there's So, you know, that fella has one song, slap me, make I get money.
Abby.
If you try that one with me, every penny you have. 9:48, we will soon leave. Good morning, Uncle Jimmy, and good morning to your guests. Please, I want to ask your guests what her view is concerning the increased nude scenes in our movies, which mostly is not even relevant to the plot of the movie.
Okay. This is my personal opinion, because when it comes to creatives, people are free to do what they want, except where there are regulations. I think that's where I was going when I was saying that you could do heavily romantic scenes without all that intimacy. The nudity part, for me, right from the start of my career, it was something I was never going to do, no matter the amount of money involved. And as
even if it is in dollars,
I don't care.
No, I'm just asking. I mean, for the record.
And as a filmmaker, I believe it is my duty to protect the actors on my set. So if I allow a nude scene in my movie, I've exposed the person whose nudity is put out there for the world to see. I've also exposed the young men, if it is a lady who went nude, I've exposed the men on the set to immoral thoughts because of what they are seeing.
I wonder what real value nude scenes act. If it's pornography, fair enough. But I wonder what nude scenes acts,
In my belief, it's all about sex sells. When they have these heavily controversial scenes, people want to go out and say it because they want to see it.
I need to quickly ask this question before you go. 9:50. Is it true in Nollywood, in the Yoruba genres and yours are the more contemporary, is it true that being light matters? Because you do find some actresses tell you at the back, that if you're not light-skinned, you won't be picked for a role. That's why, of course, one of the reasons why bleaching creams and I don't think it helps that you were born light and you're pretty. So
it is also all in people's minds. Nigerians, I've heard it said that Nigerian men like yellow sissy, which is why people are bleaching up and down.
Yes.
But for me, any day, I subscribe to black beauty. When you see a beautiful
but you're already
woman,
a yellow sissy.
I can't help that. That's what they born me. But when I see a beautiful black woman, oh my, I would like to cast that person in my movie.
Personally, I like black.
Not that I do.
The
female star
I like
in my
lights
movie
too.
is a dark-skinned girl. Luciana.
No, I like
a dark-skinned, beautiful girl.
Or let me say, I like clear skin.
Exactly.
I like clear
Your
skin.
skin, regardless of the complexion, whether it's fair or light, should be clean.
Well,
and
I used to like
clear.
dark skin, but now that I'm looking at it, I've changed to yellow. My people they don't have like say yellow. I gotta go. 9:51, Lilian. It's been nice talking to you. Your premiere is when on Friday,
the 30th of June.
The 30th of June. Okay, and it will be in all the cinema houses.
Many of the cinemas.
Okay, I promise you. The tickets you are giving me, is it for one or for two?
Uncle Jimmy, I can give you for you and your significant other. So it's okay. I'll give you two.
You hold the one for the significant other. I gotta go. I'll be back here. I'll be back here on Tuesday by His Grace. I'll be back 7:30 with Sheriff, and then at 9 with. I need to conclude a little part of the discussion I was having with my Japa son yesterday, Fola Jomi, Fawayemi, and I also need that. Then also I'm going to bring the lady who got a first class in law and was indigent, and she didn't even have a hostel. I think we must give her some space to tell her story. It's a motivating story, if you ask me. For me, in life, there are no excuses. What were we told when we were in school, Lilian? If at first you don't succeed,
try again.
I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Hey, my name is Alex. I've been a content creator for a while now, and I always try to innovate to keep my audience entertained and engaged. When 5G came into Nigeria, I thought it was all noise, like the normal hype, gang, and all that noise. But boy, was I wrong. Because I've hosted virtual concerts, partied with my followers in the metaverse, created skits with creators in other countries without ever having to leave my room. I can shoot a movie without being on set. Hey, now that's a godsend. With all the money I've spent on cabs this year. If there's one thing 5G has done right, I would say it's made it easier for me to do me.
Change the game with MTN 5G. It offers hyper-fast internet speed, seamless buffering, and
99.5